Good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey and Spencer Hughes on the Daybreak Show. Time for us to find out what's doing at the Port of Shelton with Dick Taylor and Wendy Smith. How you doing?
Good,
Great.
good.
It is coming up on November, so budget time. You guys went through all that last week.
Yeah, we passed our budget.
How's it look?
It's submitted. Well, it looks good.
Yeah.
We've got one of the major capital project we have going is a 40,000 square foot building is in the budget this year,
Nice.
which we'll be building out behind the Sims property. It's where we're looking at putting one in.
And is that going to be a single 40,000, or are you going to try to break it up a little bit?
All the above.
Mm-hmm.
It can be, it depends on what the customer wants,
Okay.
the tenant that wants it. We have people that would take it as 5,000 square foot buildings, and it's designed such that you can break it up that way.
Yeah.
So, and we also have one that may take the whole 40,000 square feet. So.
I mean, you guys over the years have found yourself in those situations where you're full up, and that's a great position to be in, especially as we're looking into 2021 after this year. I mean,
right.
it could have been a noticeably different landscape.
For sure.
But things seem to be well over the last couple of months.
They do, and I think the biggest thing for us is that some of these projects have been on the budget and they were pushed forward just based on the economy and everything happening. But yeah, we're excited, and I think we're just kind of looking towards the future. And we have a couple tenants that are. Actually, we have one tenant that is leaving Port Property, but they've been on a 1-year lease for several years, and so could be based on various things, but that in itself just lends to all those tenants that are kind of waiting for expansion possibilities. So we're not worried about that. We of course want our businesses to thrive, and we want them to do well, and it seems most are. They're weathering the storm pretty well, so that's a good thing.
So you folks at the Port of Shelton, I think this is going to be probably my first budget conversation of the quarter. Mm-hmm. How much did this last couple of months play into this? Not necessarily on like reduce revenues or things like that, but thinking ahead to next year and making sure we may hopefully have some reserves or what to happen if COVID comes back.
We've got a reserve.
Okay.
What, $3 million in reserve?
Yeah, we've got 5.
Or
Actually.
5. Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
Five.
great.
And it's there just for that reason, to be a buffer if something happens. When I started, I think we had 950,000 or something. I was less than $1 million in reserve, and so we've built it up considerably, and I'm really proud of that. And it's a rainy day. We can use that. We can do some construction without having to do humongous bonds and loans and that sort of thing. So.
And then pass that too along to your other
Right.
tenants there.
It gets passed on to the tenants.
Well, and that's kind of the flip side too. The good news is having that fund available. We do have bonds that are from 2003, 2005. We have 3 bond series. We have some drinking water state revolving fund loans as well. And curb projects, as we've talked about more recently. So we just paid off an old curb project.
From the 90s,
So that's done. And then those 2003 and 2005, they keep, we're slowly paying those off. So I mean, they're due to expire here in the next, 5 years-ish. And so we're paying those down. We're building our reserves. Now, keeping in mind that as we go forward and build a 40,000, we'll search for money, we'll search for low income, we'll search, or low financing funds, but we'll also search for free money. But you aren't always that lucky, and that's why we have that money to put towards a project and then just get that money back for the next project. So,
if I'm not mistaken, after the federal tax law of 17 or 18, whichever one that was.
1800 or?
It may have been the last time. I don't even remember now. It's been such a long year. But there was, and I think the Port of Shelton property was in one of these economic impact zones.
The opportunity zones?
Opportunity zones, that's right.
Part of it, yeah.
Have you been able to utilize that at all? Or is it still kind of hard to understand?
I'll tell you, people are really excited about it. And Sanderson Field, our airport property, is fully encompassed in the Opportunity Zone. Johns Prairie is not. Real close to Johns Prairie, right across the street, right across Johns Prairie is. So people get real excited. We have companies that have looked to us just for that reason. We have companies still looking to expand for that reason. But I think there's so much that's unknown. And a lot of the articles that have come out about the program have said, oh, it's, it isn't what it was supposed to be.
Okay.
And the designations are kind of, so I think there's some workout stuff that needs to happen federally. And so far they haven't touched the program.
Yeah.
And so whether they do that or not, but we are in the zone, and I think
Yeah.
it's something that we can, market and get people, on port property for that reason. It just, when it's, only airport property, we have to think about what meshes with the airport.
Sure.
It doesn't
Sure.
have to be airport related at this point on some of our portions of property, but it does have to, fit in with an airport. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, when that first came out, I think we probably had some initial conversations and then talked with the EDC and the county commissioners, and everybody agrees that it's a good idea if we could just figure it out.
Figure out how to use it.
Yeah, just figure out how to use it. Very
I
cool.
have reached out to Representative Kilmer's office is pretty on this, and they have kind of introduced me by way of email because of this year with someone out of Tacoma who has done presentations on it and seems to be kind of the guru of the program. And so we've got more knowledge than we have had, and they're pretty, insistent, Kilmer's office that is, on figuring out, how we work this, how we, entice people to get in these programs. So
Good. Well, maybe down the road then that'll pick
Yeah.
up for sure.
Yeah.
Port of Shelton here on the air today. Dick Taylor and Wendy Smith finding out what's doing at Port of Shelton. You can always find out more too on the website, portofshelton.com. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.